The first time I saw the monster, she was screaming inside a containment field while an entire space station prepared to kill her. Red warning lights pulsed through Observation Deck 7, bathing the glass in blood-like flashes. Scientists shouted. Soldiers raised rifles designed to punch holes through battleships. And at the center of it all, towering, shackled by light and gravity, was her. They called her Veronal, Devourer, World-Ender, Abomination. I called her Terrified. But that was only the beginning. Earth's last orbital stronghold, Helios Station, had been built for one purpose: to protect humanity from what lurked beyond known space. By the time I arrived as a xenobiology liaison, most people believed protection meant extermination. Especially from her. Veronal was not humanoid. She stood nearly 12 feet tall, her body a fusion of obsidian armor and living starlight. Veins of faint blue energy pulsed beneath cracked black plating. Her face, if it could be called that, was smooth, elongated, with no visible mouth until she screamed. The sound bypassed ears and went straight into the skull. Several technicians collapsed. One began to bleed from the nose. I didn't. Instead, something worse happened. I felt her fear. No one else noticed. Or maybe no one cared. She destroyed 3 survey fleets, Commander Hale barked beside me. Ripped a moon in half. This thing is a living extinction event. I stared at the creature thrashing against the containment lattice. Every movement looked desperate. Cornered. Why would something that powerful be afraid? I asked quietly. Hale looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Because it finally got caught, he said. And tonight we make sure it never gets loose again. What I felt next changed everything. As Veronal slammed her armored fists against the invisible wall, a sudden wave of emotion surged through me. Raw, overwhelming, undeniable. Not rage. Not hunger. Grief. And buried beneath it, guilt. None of us were prepared for the truth. They briefed me later in the quarantine wing. Humanity's first contact with Vera's species, the Karuan, had ended in catastrophe. The official story claimed the Karuan were cosmic predators, drawn to intelligent life like sharks to blood. But the data didn't fully match. Planets destroyed showed patterns, specific energy signatures. Precision. Almost surgical. I asked the question no one wanted to answer. What if she wasn't attacking? I said. What if she was containing something? Silence followed. Then a junior analyst swallowed and whispered, "There are missing data blocks in the first encounter logs." Commander Hale shut the file. "That's classified," he said. "And irrelevant. The vote is already decided. At 0600 hours, Veronal is terminated." That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes I felt her fear again. The crushing loneliness. The weight of uncountable deaths she carried like scars across her soul. So I did the unthinkable. I went back. Observation Deck 7 was dark when I arrived. Only the containment field glowed, humming softly. Veronal knelt at its center now, massive shoulders slumped, energy veins dim. She sensed me instantly. Her head lifted. Those starlit eyes locked onto mine. I should have run. Instead I stepped closer. Her presence pressed against my mind like a storm front. Images flooded me, burning skies, screaming worlds, a black void tearing reality apart. And her, always her, standing between the darkness and everything else. A shield. A sacrifice. "You weren't destroying them," I whispered. "You were stopping something worse." Her reply didn't come in words. It came as truth. The Karuan were wardens of a cosmic anomaly known as the Maw. A sentient tear in spacetime that fed on conscious thought. Entire civilizations vanished not because Vera destroyed them, but because she arrived too late. She was the last warden. And humanity had just captured her. But that was only the beginning. I reached out. Every protocol screamed not to. The containment field was designed to kill anything that touched it. But when my fingers brushed the light barrier, nothing happened. The field shimmered. Adjusted. Responded. Gasps echoed behind me as alarms flared. Security flooded the deck, weapons raised. "Dr. Mercer, step away." Hale shouted. I didn't. Instead, I pressed my palm fully against the field. Veronal did the same from the other side. And the field collapsed. Time seemed to freeze. Her massive hand enveloped mine, careful, trembling. The contact sent a shockwave through the station. Systems rebooted. Gravity flickered. In that moment I understood everything. The containment hadn't failed. She had allowed me through. "She's bonding," someone screamed. "No," I said softly, tears streaming down my face. "She's trusting." What I saw next changed everything. The moss stirred. Far beyond the station, space twisted inward like a wounded animal. Sensors spiked off the charts. A darkness older than stars began to awaken. Hale stared at the data, face pale. "That's not possible." Veronal rose to her full height, energy blazing brighter than ever. Her fear was gone, replaced by resolve. She turned to me, her thoughts gentle now mournful. "I cannot stop it alone anymore." The truth hit like a blade. She had been weakening for centuries. Each world she saved cost her a piece of herself. And now, with humanity watching, the final seal was breaking. "You don't have to be alone," I said. Hale laughed bitterly. "We can't fight that." "No," I replied. "But we can help her hold it." I made a choice then, one that would damn or define our species. I ordered Heliostation's core to reroute every quantum reactor into Veronal. Hale screamed. Engineers protested. Politicians would later call me a traitor. But the power flowed. Veronal roared, not in pain but in awe. Humanity's energy was different. Chaotic. Emotional. Unpredictable. Perfect. The maw screamed as well. A sound that fractured stars. For a moment it looked like we might lose. The darkness surged, tendrils of void lashing toward the station. Veronal shielded us. I felt her strain, her doubt. So I did the only thing left. I stepped into her embrace. Against every fear, every instinct, I pressed my forehead against her armored chest. I focused on one thing humanity had in endless supply. Hope. "Take it," I whispered. "All of it." She did. What followed was not a battle. It was a stand. Human emotion, love, grief, rage, sacrifice, poured into her like fuel. The maw recoiled, unable to consume something that refused despair. With a final deafening collapse, the tears sealed. The universe exhaled. When the light faded, Veronal knelt again, smaller now, weaker, alive. So was humanity. The station was silent. Hale lowered his weapon. What is she now?" he asked. I looked up at the being the galaxy had feared. "She's family," I said. Months later, Veronal stood beside Earth. No longer a prisoner but a guardian. Children watched her silhouette against the stars with wonder instead of terror. As for me, I stayed with her. Because when the world saw a monster, I saw someone worth touching. And that changed the fate of us all.